From his first appearance on the ABC's The Big Gig to his breakout series with the Doug Anthony Allstars and even his own television game show, today's guest panellist is an Aussie comedy legend. But Tim Ferguson's life took a pretty dramatic twist when he discovered he had MS. But Tim, before we get to all that stuff, we want to relive, walk down memory lane. The
glory days.
The glory days of comedy.
When you and I met.
Do you know when... Actually, I wasn't old enough to watch the All-Stars, but I loved Don't Forget Your Toothbrush.
My parents said, as soon as you finish filming, straight to bed.
So what were the days of The Big Gig like?
Oh, it was great fun. It was a live TV show. I mean, you guys go live every morning and there's nothing quite like it. It gives you that extra factor. And, of course, this was live and we didn't often tell the producers exactly what we were going to do.
No.
And sometimes we would just go round to the props department and say, I like that. What are you taking? So we would do things that the network lawyers had no idea about. For example, like, you know, pointing shotguns in audience members' faces.
Did you really do that?
Well, sometimes you need to make an entrance, Jessica.
Isn't there softer, more gentler ways of making an entrance?
People would listen to your news broadcast. You better listen to this one, it's important.
There's always a lot of thrusting as well.
Oh, yeah, well, Paul McDermott,
lot of thrusting.
He's got to be kept in line.
Yeah. And were there groupies? Were there people? Because you had just huge amounts of...
I was one too.
Well,
and those jackets, I love those kind of jackets that you wore. It's a little bit Adam and the Ant sort of style. Four tops.
It's a bit sort of Three Amigos, but a bit more badass.
They were very stinky jackets. We never, ever washed them because they had oil paintings on the back. So we couldn't get them dry cleaned. And I had to not rub my face with my sleeve because it would infect my face.
Oh, dear.
We put Paul's in a bag when we had a couple of weeks break once. It was the only break we ever took. When we took it out of the bag, it was covered in white fungus.
Oh.
Yeah, we had credibility.
Wow, that was hardcore.
You've still got that baby face about you, though. You haven't really aged much.
Well, you know, comes from wearing nappies and only eating tinned food.
And what was your relationship with Paul McDermott and, of course, Richard Fidler, the guitarist? Because you would have gotten all the girls. Did they go insanely well, perhaps not so much Paul, but did they all go insanely jealous?
The crazy thing was, you know, there were so many girls who wanted to sleep with Paul and Richard.
It's unfair.
It was like, I would say, what am I? Yeah. Chopped mutton? I'm tall, dark, handsome, rich, famous. What do you want?
That's not true. You were the pretty one.
Yeah. I was the pretty one, but sometimes they figure, no, you're the pretty one.
You were too pretty. They thought you were
yeah, there's something wrong with you.
So, Tim, could you tell us, I mean, we all loved the Doug Anthony Allstars, but what was the reason behind the split?
Oh, well, I got slugged with MS and then it happened again and I didn't know what it was, but it meant the left side of my body didn't work at all. So I was, you know...
So it's all your fault.
Like oh, it was all my fault.
MS was the Yoko Ono. So I don't understand. So what sort of symptoms did you have, first of all?
When I was about 19, my eyes went crossed, like wacky crossed. And went to a doctor and the doctor said, yep, and he was the one who diagnosed me as having wacky crossed eyes.
Is that then linked to,
well, yeah,
to
but he said,
MS?
Go home, keep your hands up, and the rash will clear up. And sure enough, it went away. And then I had things that came in and went out, so you get numbness, buzzing, feel like a javelin's through your head. Kind of,
did
or you just
did the doctor say it was MS at that point? No. So it was was it many years before you had that?
I just ignored this stuff, Christina. I just figured, and you know, people would tell me, mostly women would tell me that every 24, 26 days, they would describe the most bizarre symptoms, the girls I knew. And then they would go away, and I was kind of similar. I thought I must be a girl.
Oh, nonsense. Now, of course, too, you had your big break on Don't Forget Your Toothbrush. What was that like?
Oh, that was huge. It was, I don't know what happened, but Mr. Packer must have just had too much beer one day and said, yes, we will make the most expensive game show ever made in this country.
That's where my crush developed.
And we blew up stuff. Beautiful Miss Wendy was there, and I don't know what that was about.
Can I, very quickly before, we're being told that we're running out of time, but until we're always running out of time. But until quite recently, you used a walking stick, and then you got up to do comedy in your wheelchair. What was the reaction of the audience like?
Well, they kind of freak out a little, Sarah, because, they're made nervous by it. And I did recent shows in Canberra with Paul.
Yeah.
And it was great because you get a standing ovation, which I was offended by. OK, I'm in a wheelchair. Oh, yeah, so you're all standing up.
Right, thanks for rubbing it in.
Yeah.
And I still keep going. You've got a sense of humour,
But no, I suppose on a serious note, has it been difficult for you, though, to reconcile that?
Oh, not at all, really. I figure whatever it is, if it doesn't completely get in my way, I'll just stomp over multiple sclerosis, that I got other things to worry about.
Oh, well said. What a champion. Tim was speaking at the Sydney Writers' Festival about his book, Carry a Big Stick. If you want to see it and for more information, go to cheekymonkeycomedy.com. Can everyone please thank Tim Ferguson, but he's staying.